Hey everybody, welcome back to Jordan Lee Tarot. I have two decks for today. We have the Light Seers Oracle. Nope, the Tarot. If you knew how many times I did this intro, because I keep getting the words mixed up. This is the Illustrated Crystallary Oracle card deck. And I did mispronounce this, and no, I cannot put it on YouTube. It's been a day. Anyway, these are the decks that I'm using for reading. And I'm at my desk. I have a new desk chair behind me, so it's a big white fluffy marshmallow basically. And I got it because the ends of it fold out, so I can actually sit the way I sit with like one knee out to the side. I am a professional photographer, so I also edit for long periods of time, sometimes into the evening hours or just even during the day. And I just needed more comfort in my chair, so I have a big floofy white puffball behind me now. But anyway, I am actually getting a message, and it was off of one of the images that I was actually editing, and it is about protect what is important to you. And it was signage that doesn't really have anything to do with what I'm saying, but there was this idea of protect what is valuable to you. I don't want to get specific, but it was this idea that if it's important to you, protect it, safeguard it, put boundaries around it. This could be your own heart. This could be your sexuality. I just get this idea of if it is important to you, don't willy-nilly offer it to people. Protect it. Be discerning with when it goes out. This could be your opinion. This could be your deepest, most intimate thoughts. And when I say intimate in this case, I don't mean actual sexual energy. I mean the intimate most thoughts of your past, of the way you feel about things. You don't need to share that with everybody. So yeah, I'm just getting this idea of protecting and discerning who to share what with. That feels very important, especially because some of the people that are listening, paying attention, might be readers themselves, might be intuitives, might be oracles. And part of your gifts is not just learning to take in what is being offered, it's to discern who and when and why to share the information that you're sharing. So that was something that was more recently a heavier lesson in my world, and it's really become important to understand if I'm just being given information for me to better internally understand my world, or if I'm being given information that spirit is like, this is a message that we want you to offer to this person. And I never thought about that being a part of this, but it really is. So that could be important. Maybe you know something that you feel like, oh, I just have to tell the person that this is about. And maybe you do. Maybe it's just information for you to discern what you need to discern out of a situation, and the other person doesn't need to know that information. I'm getting that it will be a mixed and varied situation. So take it as it resonates appropriately for your situation. Okay, let's get into the cards. We're going to go with the Crystallary deck first. If you can guess at how I mispronounced that word. I was a mess. I was laughing and giggling, and yes, I am like 10 years old. Very mature over here. Okay. We have citrine full of riches. I'm feeling like this is an internal thing, but it could always be a message of like a full, rich inner world, but it could be a message of riches to come. So I'm all about that. I'm all about people who are on this beautiful spiritual path having money. And I don't just mean a little bit, I mean a lot. So I will definitely always talk about and encourage people who are on the spiritual path to want money, to get money, to use it with intention, and there's nothing wrong, nothing dirty about it. Okay. Whoop. A lot we're jumping. Hold on. What more do we need to know from this deck? Okay. Anchor in. Hematite. So I am going to read from the book for these because they are very specific messages. So for citrine, citrine has no patience for navel gazing and narcissism. There's a whole world out there. Citrine admonishes, guiding your attention to the abundance around you. Tune outward, Citrine reminds, watching as you haltingly move your gaze from your own troubles to the tiny leaves unfurling on the oak's branches. Citrine knows it can be tough to turn your ear to the whisper of crow wings cutting the afternoon's stillness when you're used to listening to your own internal monologues and self-deprecating harangues. But citrine is persistent in pushing you beyond yourself, nodding sagely as you slowly slip out of self-absorption and into the stillness of contentment. The world is full of riches, citrine affirms, and in that abundance, you'll find your joy. What I find interesting is that my initial thoughts of this card was that you are full of riches, and this particular reading is kind of talking about bringing that out. So maybe there is something really rich and beautiful within you, but this card is calling you to bring it out into the world and share it with people. Like, your richness within is now the richness without. You're being called into the world to share what's inside of you. Okay, anchor in. Anchor in. Hematite instructs. Whether it's your thoughts that are running rampant, your energy shooting off in 70 directions, or your spirit wanting to fly free from your skin, Hematite's message is the same. Anchor in. Reach down to your being, find your core, and feel yourself connected to the heart of the earth. Let the iron in the planet's center sing to the iron in your blood, reminding you of your deep roots. Let the structure of this iron-rich stone support your thoughts and anchor your emotions so you can bring your best self forward and ripple that energy out to those around you. So I think this does back up what I'm saying. There is this very secure, stable situation internally that you need to anchor into and realize how rich, how deep that well goes so that you can bring it up and out. But in the process, I'm always worried about this microphone, sorry. In this process of bringing things up out of you, you don't give away the farm, right? Oh my gosh, this is too good. So the signage that I was mentioning earlier about protect, what's important to you. It was a protect local farmland sign. And in the area that I live, it is very important that, that's something that people talk about a lot. And I feel very drawn and very connected to this space because where I used to live on the East Coast, a lot of agricultural lands were just being decimated for numerous townhomes and just way too many housing developments that were slapped together too quickly, and it really hurt my heart. And I actually started to physically get sick and feel unwell in the area where I was. So moving out here, to the Pacific Northwest and feeling the difference in how the land is valued feels very important for my heart. And so what this is drawing in is by anchoring in within your own self, your own soul, that deep knowledge of who you are that has lived centuries, thousands of lifetimes, and that your family that you experience here is just a very small piece of your deeper soul family that you have in the ethers, maybe in soulmates that are reincarnated on earth at this time. But there's this deep understanding that you have lived and experienced so much. And with that comes this soul with sage knowledge. So, but if you want to bring what's in out, don't don't give it all away. You need to keep that grounded stability. So that's why I said don't give away the farm. Protect the farmland, okay? Um, don't give away everything. Keep what's deep and important about you. This could be a deep discussion, a very, very soulful way of saying you might be entering into a relationship. And this is that begging to not give away all of who you are, to really anchor into who you are and bring that to a relationship. Don't give away who you are as you get into a relationship, because there are so many riches that you can offer a situation or a person, but it doesn't require you to give away everything. You still have to anchor in to who you are and stay strong in that. I mean, look at how secure that anchor is. It's connected with the rope and then like the vines, branches growing up from beneath. There's a lot of ways in which that's a solid card. You are solid. You are full of so much. And it's going to, in time, right? When it feels right, it's going to come out of you. But not all of it. And there's this beautiful replenishing that does tend to happen, so that almost like at the end of a day, your battery's a little bit low, but you recharge overnight. You sleep, you rest, your soul, does its thing while your body is just replenishing its earthly energy to get you to 100%, hopefully, for the next day. So that's what I'm seeing. It's kind of like this human battery of like drained and not going all the way down to the bottom, but giving yourself what you need so that it can go back up to 100 that much quicker, and it can do it every single night, right? So that you are at that 100% to start your day. I do understand realistically that not everyone starts out their day with 100%. We're talking about the ideal of a situation, right? So you know what you're trying for, right? Because that's what we all want. We all want to feel our best when we wake up in the morning and be like, wow, I have 100% to offer my family, my life, my job, my clients. I have that 100%. And then I can divvy that out intelligently. So if we have poor energy management, we might be giving away too much too quickly and really be exhausted by 3 p.m., right? So that's kind of what I'm getting. There's an energy management component to this. Don't give away the farm, anchor in, but know that there's so much within you. This full of riches card is kind of reminding me of like that full battery. Make sure you allow yourself to go up to 100%. Make sure you create the circumstances that allow that human or soul battery to recharge. Granted, the soul is infinite. The soul doesn't drain. The soul is always safe and perfect. It's the humanness within us that needs that charge up. Okay. 8 of Cups card popping out with no other context. This is typically the walking away from something that doesn't serve you anymore card. But in this case, I'm actually getting more of the understanding that you're walking towards the unknown, towards something that is this beautiful sun shining horizon. And, I want to dive into more of what that is, but this feels like you're stepping into the unknown on purpose and you're really ready. There's like a deep sense of readiness for whatever is in the unknown, because whatever you left behind is not, it really isn't the thing anymore. It's, you're ending that cycle, but what that actually means, so many readers say that phrase, and sometimes I get sick of hearing the same phrases over and over again, so I want to like elaborate on what an end of a cycle looks like. It looks like you're doing the things that you were always doing before, but it just doesn't fulfill you, and you actually feel more empty and sad because you're like, why am I still doing this? I was doing this 10 years ago. I'm done with this. I don't know where I'm going next or what I'm doing next, but I'm going to go over here because I'm so sick of it over here. That's honestly how I felt on the East Coast. There was like nothing left for me on the East Coast, and there was just a lot of disappointment, a lot of dead ends, and I thought, okay, it's time. It's time to not blow up my life, because my life was sort of it really felt like there was a lot of things winding down. So it felt like, oh, okay, well, there's really nothing for me to do here left anymore. So I'm gonna change and move to a different area. And that's really what I did. So this energy is a very, very um, action oriented step after the cycle has already ended. You're like, oh, I can just walk away. There's nothing left here. Why would I stay? So the Page of Pentacles. This is about the excitement of starting something new. So maybe this is something new. This could be talking about a relocation. This could be talking about a new job. It could just be talking about a new way of life. I'm seeing being single versus like being a part of a family unit, having children, things of that nature that are really, really exciting to you. But I also see it with career as well. Because there's a lot of passion project energy with the Page of Pentacles. Like something that you've had within you and now you're going to let it come out. But the cycle ending, I mean, these are those projects, right? Someone that I was friends with many, many years ago, they called it like crumpled up pieces of paper, like ideas that you just kind of like crumpled up and threw, but like picture that in your mind. This feels like nothing else has been working and the cycles of all these other things that you've been actively doing have ended. So it forces you to kind of go, okay, well, what's that crumpled piece of paper back there? And you pull it out from your mind and it's like, I want to be a painter. And then you start, doing something completely different and you're painting now. And you have all this renewed sense of excitement, but you're unsure of how you're going to make a living doing paintings when you've never painted before, right? This is that energy. But it's also that energy of, I feel like this is like a single life card. And this is like the creation of something new. Because again, as you're creating a family, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're humanly birthing children. It could mean finding a partner, adopting pets, or physically having children. It could be any one of those things, but it's just, I always try to offer so many variations because there are so many beautiful ways that our lives express and flare out. And it can be any one of those things. I mean, this could be someone who's had a fulfilling career who now wants a family, or it could be someone who, has had a lot of detrimental problems with family and walks away from family to start something new and find new soul family in new friends, maybe through work or so it's just the opposite of what you've had, but it's for the best, and it's going to feel fuller and richer, and it's going to match this full of riches. Okay. Oh, jumping. Two of Wands and the Seven of Swords. So in this case, the Seven of Swords actually feels like the way these are positioned. Wrong way. The way these are now positioned, she is imagining kind of running away. So this might have been something that you were imagining. But this also feels like comfort zone. Like, feel how warm this is. This is the comfort zone. And you're looking out going, oh, look at all those adventures that I could have, but you're not actually going on the damn adventures. Well, this is you actually going on the damn adventures and doing the darn thing. Right? So once you're here and you've been here for too long, I would say, you then get to the point where you actually physically do this, physically walk away, and you're unsure, but you're, as I look at this card, you're not running away from your comfort zone, but you are escaping it, because your comfort zone can really, really get in your way. Your comfort zone can kind of fork up your bigger plans. So use your comfort zone to like regulate your nervous system, but yet don't stay there, if that makes sense. Oop. Exactly, because staying there too long leads to boredom. So the Four of Cups card is kind of like this, wah wah, I've been doing the same thing the same way for a really long time and I'm bored, and like I just like there's no excitement for life in this card. She's, you know, and that's where I feel like you have been at. So think about if you have so much within you, so many ideas, so many plans, so much excitement, but you're not doing anything about it, you're going to get really, really frustrated. Like this is boredom, but boredom that leads to frustration, um, because you're here and you're in your comfort zone, you're in your comfy, warm spot, looking at what I want to be doing is not what I'm doing now. How do I get there? Well, you start by moving your darn feet towards what you want. And what you want is, I don't even know what I want yet, but it's not this. Okay, get out there and do the darn thing. Now, the Seven of Swords card can sometimes be a strategic card. So maybe there is a bit of strategy that might need to happen here as you move from, the life that you know you don't want anymore to the I'm not sure life that I'm going to have, but don't know how to get there and don't exactly know what it's going to look like situation. It's really scary, right? To be here, to be bored. Know that you want to get out of your comfort zone, but not even have a picture photograph in your mind of what that looks like. Some people, I just realized this in the last few years, some people really don't visualize things. I'm a visual artist. I visualize things all the time. I visualize how I want a shoot to go. I visualize how I want a video to look. I visualize a creative idea. I visualize myself in the future roles and positions that I want to be in. And I enjoy watching myself as if in a movie. I can do that pretty seamlessly. Many people cannot, or it's something that needs to be developed over time. So understand that maybe you're here because you feel scared to move ahead because you can't picture what your future looks like. And you really do need to step off that ledge, not seeing a picture of what something could even look like. Now, do my plans always go exactly according to plan? No. But I have seen future times, future sections of my life when I was in the previous section, and that was kind of comforting to know, like, I'm seeing forward to the next chunk of time in my life. And um, when I did move across the country, I really did not have a picture, though. Like, one of the biggest leaps I made, no clue, had no clue. So understand that even if you do have these gifts and these intuitive feelings about moving towards something, it doesn't mean that you're going to know exactly what it's going to look like. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. Sometimes you're going to get information. Sometimes it's going to be exactly what you picture. Sometimes not at all. I can't give you more comforting advice and be like, it's always, what you see in your mind. No. But I do know that it's a sense of rightness, a sense of rightness. Even if the visuals around you don't look familiar, you're going to feel at home in whatever you're doing. And that's exactly how things felt for me. It was the feeling that I was focused on, not the visuals and making sure that I was like in the right physical house or space. It was like, does this feel good? Does this feel right? Can I hold on? Can I anchor into this? Does this feel good? And when I moved the first time, I was there for about 5 months and then I moved again. Something about that house that I was in initially, I couldn't anchor into. I couldn't figure out why. To this day, I still don't know why. But being where I'm at now, I look out the window and I go, yes, you're where you need to be. Do I have any other understanding other than that? Nope. That's it. So I say this as someone who understands that people need really short answers, and you need to become comfortable with not having them. You wait for the feeling of rightness. And sometimes it doesn't even feel as definitive as clicking into place. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. So I say all this as like, your loving big sister who's just like, I've been through a lot of different lifetimes in one. And there have been many shifts and changes and many different people that I was with and then had to move out of, and it's taught me so much about following the feeling, not a specific person. Because the specific feeling is what's letting you know that you're following your very specific plan and map for this lifetime. Because there are soul contracts with certain people that you might feel up and down all day long. It has to be this person that I'm going to spend my life with, or that it has to be this business partner that I do this project with because I've seen it and it feels right. And maybe you did, and maybe in other versions of this lifetime you did do that with them, but in this lifetime they choose to back out. Then what? Then you're feeling so lost and so confused because you were tied to a person and not a feeling, when actually in this lifetime there's someone else that clicks into place, a different business partner. But the feeling is what you were really wanting. And this person has the feeling because they're in alignment with what you're in alignment with. And you guys can work together to create the project, to create the family, whatever it is. So understand there's a lot of changeability and movability, even in the big plan picture that we have for our life. Try to navigate this well with people so that they don't feel overwhelmed. Okay, Queen of Swords, Page of Wands. So I like this very much because it feels like someone who is planning something, using discernment, being very smart, very particular about what she's doing, making sure that she's in alignment with that right feeling before she charges ahead and does any big action steps. Because that Page of Wands, I always picture that as like energy building, energy building, energy building. And then all of a sudden the Page of Wands like is the release where you actually start doing the things in the world, right? This might be the stage where you're researching something, you're seeing how much something that you want to do or make happen is going to cost. And then this is the step where you actually start to physically move shit around in the world because you crunch the numbers, you know how to make it work, you know how you're going to do it, or at least the first couple steps, and you start. So there's a lot of inspiration here. Okay. So, again, to wrap up this message, because we are a little over on time, I feel like this message is about if you stay true to who you are and you anchor into that soul power energy, you tap into that kind of supercharged battery when you're tapping into the soul, and then it allows all of this stuff to happen. So I could be talking to a collective that has already started the process of a big transition in their life, or they're considering it and they're kind of in the disillusionment stage or boredom phase, apathetic stage, in your comfort zone, looking out the window, wondering, how do I get here? And I would say um, it would have been 2 years ago that I was in that position. And now here I am, still not hugely clear on the big picture, but the feeling is good and right, and I'm in alignment. And so sometimes that's all it is. More to come, right? More life to live, more experiences to click into place. So I hope this message had value for you. I just really want to send a lot of love and a lot of just big sister loving energy here, because these moves that I think some of you are being called to make are really scary for you because it's a big change. It's very new, but it feels right to make the scary change. To go, I don't know what's, at that sunrise horizon out there, but I'm going to go walk out there and find out. And I'm leaving this stuff behind. I'm not coming back for this one cup. I'm done. I'm letting spirit lead me, and I'm excited, but I'm also ready to barf. That's fair. So, if you ever want a realistic conversation about spiritual awakening, or have any questions about tarot, or would like to book a private reading with me, all that information will be listed in the description box. I wanted to also say, if those of you that like my readings but don't necessarily want a personal reading or want to offer some sort of thank you, I do have a digital online shop. You can buy products for as little as $1.11. And it's just a way to say thank you to me, but you still get something of value back for that. So, all right. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful night. Mwah. See you later.